So hey all, I'm not exactly sure when this is going to air, but I'm recording this a little bit before Thanksgiving, and we have a turkey, and we're all set. We're probably going to be doing our usual low-key Thanksgiving. We've had some complications that have made this a complex year, but nothing I really care to go into on a general public basis. But I will say that it's probably going to be, at least as far as our plans, relatively close to what we usually do. Have the usual tradition of checking out the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade for a little bit, and doing some turkey, and it'll be fun. We're thinking about possibly going to check out Zootopia 2 and visiting one of my favorite restaurants the following day. And sometime shortly thereafter, I would like to try and go back to New York to visit my mom. I've been trying to get back there for a while because it's been a while since I've seen everyone. I would like to go visit and also take some pictures with my new DSLR camera, which I had after Star Trek Las Vegas last year, but I would like to take it back, take some really good pictures that I'm super happy with, and just kind of get some nice photos and, check in on things. There's a lot of stuff that I don't want to really get into right now, but, I want to see my family and I want to sort of, keep those connections going, especially because, I mean, sometimes it's hard, especially these days, keeping in touch with everybody just on a general basis. And I always try and send folks messages, and sometimes I look at some of the Telegram chats and see when the last time is I talked to somebody, and I'm shocked when I see that it's literally been years. For some folks, and I know we know a lot of people these days, and especially with it kind of seems like with the more ways we have to keep in touch with people, the less we seem to be good at doing that. So, I would just like to advise everyone and suggest, it's like send a message to people, make sure they know you're thinking about them, tell them you love them, just kind of check in with folks every now and then, just somebody you hadn't seen in a while, just to keep those connections going, because it's important. It is. And that's the news for right now. I'm sure there'll be another update before Christmas. But I also want to say that writing news, I'm still working on editing and working on publishing the UFO project. I do need to get back to producing some, working on one of the other projects that's waiting for some attention, because my plan is to switch off days. Work on project A on one day and work on project B the next day and go back to A, and so on and so forth. So far, I haven't really done that just because I've been working on the editing, because it requires it's ready to go for at least me to look at and edit and determine what I need, and also refresh my memory on some of these stories, because I haven't touched some of these stories in literal years. Um, again, that whole connection thing. But I mean, so far it's been going. It's like I like some of what I've written. I remember some of these lines, and it's just like, oh yeah, I did write that. And it was, it's kind of funny to read a story that you wrote, but you don't really remember writing. At least not the intricate details and such. So, but it's been interesting. I've been working on the Blue Moon anthology right now, and I have the UFO project in the publishing stage. So I'm trying to get something into the pipeline for the next one, and for the time being, anyway, once I finish with the Blue Moon stuff, I'll be moving on to trying to work on Winterfall 2, because I would hopefully like to be able to get that out sometime by late next year. But fingers crossed. I don't know. We'll see, because I don't want to hold myself to anything, but I also don't want to stress myself out either. But if I can, I would like to be able to see if I can get these done with plenty of time to have time to spare. So we'll see how it all works out. But video news, I'm obviously doing a vlog. I have a couple of audio components that I'm going to try and record for some reviews that will be in the next production cycle. We will be preparing Meeting Dominique, Reclamation Project, and Star Trek Strange New Worlds Towards the Night, I think, are the three reviews that I'm working on right now. Hopefully those will be out ready soon, so that they can cover another few months of production and Patreon and stuff. I'm still working on trying to get stories out through Patreon. Problem was I was supposed to pick one for November, but then November came and went, and I kind of forgot to do that. So I guess we'll be starting that with 2026. Fingers crossed that I can keep it up, because I haven't been working on short stories, kind of like I haven't been working on the new stuff, but it's kind of been a little complicated because I mean, work has been progressing. It's just it hasn't, you know, getting settling into a routine and keeping it has always been a challenge. It's like usually once I find the right balance, it gets there, but it's finding that balance that's the challenge because in part because I want to start working on some short stories that are not related to Winterfall. Because as much as I like playing in the universe, I'd like to kind of keep all of my projects alive at the same time by releasing short stories here and there, filling in gaps, talking about, you know, like characters that, for example, don't get a lot of attention in the main narrative. You know, this could be a way to sort of keep things active and interesting and such. So that's the plan anyway. But we'll see how, 2026 hopefully is the year that I sort of have a little bit more of a consistency. Um, but I mean, for right now, I'm working on review cycles. I need to work on maybe figuring out something else that I can do on a relatively frequent basis because, you know, I don't have a whole lot of time to record. So it's like every other Saturday, I have about 3 hours to work on everything I do for videos. So this, of course, doesn't result in a lot of time for super high production value, although I try and provide what I can. But I realize it's just kind of like me in front of a webcam. That being said, um, such is life. But that's the plan for today. Relatively light day, at least as far as production goes. Books I'm reading. We have Life Trek. I've been reading Anthony Montgomery's memoir. I think I'm about 4 or 5 chapters in. I'm not sure exactly how far. I know my Goodreads probably tells you right now, but it's been compelling, and there's a lot to it, and it's just kind of it's been an interesting journey, and I am looking forward to reading the rest of it. You know, it's a book I so far I'm highly inclined to recommend, not just for Trek fans, but just for people in general. I mean, it's kind of one of those things that, you know, there's a lot to it. That there's a lot of you know, it's definitely a journey, um, and it's been an interesting book, one that I hope to continue to enjoy. It's been, out of the books that are on my pile, it's kind of the one I've been reaching for first lately, just because I've been interested to see what comes next. And I've been reading Off the Beaten Path by Rukus. Really good book so far. It's probably going to be the best book I think I've read this year as far as fiction. Apologies to everybody else I've reviewed this year, but so far it's kind of hard to top what I've been reading in Off the Beaten Path because it's been funny, it's been good, it's been insightful. The story has been very clever. It kind of reminds me a little bit, of I don't want to kind of compare the two because they're not exactly the same, but it kind of reminds me a little bit of Rafts by Utunu, and it was also, kind of that similar thing where it's like the character scale is limited. It's not like a super complex setting where there's like 50 million characters, and it's kind of like a few characters like in microcosm, and there's a lot of complexity to it, a lot of depth, a lot of really strong personality, which sometimes is tricky to do. And Rukus does a really good job, so I think it's more than likely that I'll probably be reading more Rukus stuff in the future. Apparently, somebody told me Off the Beaten Path is the first in a trilogy, so odds are we'll probably be finishing the trilogy. Um, just as an FYI, that I still need the rest of the books in the Starret series, and I also need the rest of the books in the Simon King trilogy. So I still need to get with Jay and Tiberius about getting my hands on signed copies of those. Um, let's see. I'm also reading A New Life, The Facility, as the subtitle, and so far I've just barely cracked into that one. I was gonna read it. I mean, it was on my to be read pile. There is another book that I really want to read that I really am hoping that it's a good book, because if it's not, I'm going to be very mad. But we'll see. But so far, A New Life has started out pretty good. It's like a post transformation situation where something happened that turned people into furries, and we're picking up from after that point. Uh, so I'm hoping it's a good book. Too early to really even give a preliminary assessment because I've really just read 2 short chapters, but we will see. But I'd like to think that, as I think I've said before, I'm reasonably tough, but I think I'm a fair reviewer. I like to try and give credit where credit's due, and I like to also, point out, when there are things that don't work for me. And obviously, just because it doesn't work for me doesn't mean it won't work for everybody else. It's like I acknowledge that my review is simply my review and nothing more. That being said, uh, gaming, it's like I haven't really been super varied in my gaming. Like I do need to get more stuff back into things, but I'm trying to beat Horizon Zero Dawn, which is a long game because there's a lot to do. It's one of those open world games, and it really is open world. I'm playing Trails into Daybreak, which is fun. I do need to make progress in that because it like all Trails games, it's a long game. You're going to be spending at least 100 hours on a Trails game. We also got, let's see, what else am I playing right now? I'm playing Final Fantasy Tactics, the remake or the recent remake that they're doing. I still have to finish that one. I'm still playing Changeling Tale because I keep forgetting about that. I'm trying to go through that one again because I put it on my main PC instead of my laptop, and unfortunately you can't really copy things over because it doesn't do the cloud thing because of the way the RenP engine works or something. So I have to play through the game again, which is not a bad thing because it's a good game to play. And there's also supposed to be a new storyline being added to the game sometime in the end of the year. So, further reason to try and play through some of the storylines again. What else is there? I'm playing Frostpunk 2. I do still need to get back to that. And, hopefully as I finish some of these games, I can start working on some of the other ones that I need to try and play and beat. I still need to get back to Dragon's Dogma 2 because, I started it and it was fun, and then I hit a point where I got stuck and there really wasn't a way to get around it. So it's like I had to kind of put it down, level up, and maybe try again because I came close to beating the boss, but I got killed at the last minute or something. And hopefully it's one of those things like, let's see, what was I playing? Oh yeah, I think it was Trails of Cold Steel 4. I think I was playing it, I got stuck at a boss, I put it down for like 6 to 8 months, and then after I beat the boss, the floodgate opened and I just finished the rest of it, so maybe it'll be like that. But one thing at a time. I'm busy playing a lot of games right now, so I need to finish Horizon Zero Dawn, and then I'll probably give Dragon's Dogma that slot and just keep finishing that game and just kind of work on it. I need to get back into more of the online games because I haven't played Final Fantasy 14 much. I haven't played Fallout 76 much. I need to play those more. Um, as far as everything else, I mean that's it for right now. I'm sure that when we do Thanksgiving, when I visit mom, I'll try and have some material from that. Christmas, of course, is coming up, so there'll be more material talking about Christmas and what's going on with that. Let's see what else is there. Patreon. Okay, there will be Patreon news when I hopefully get closer to the end of the year because I need to pick the first couple of stories that are going to be coming out next year through the short stories, and then on even numbered months they'll be coming out on FA, and then hopefully after that they'll be coming out on Voice of Dog because a lot of them are of that length. So fingers crossed, and we will see if I can keep that up and get that ball rolling. So I will catch you all later. See you in a couple weeks. If you like post-apocalyptic fiction, polar bears, and adventure, check out my newest release, Winterfall, available in paperback and ebook on Amazon. And don't forget about my werewolf novel, Blue Moon.
Thanks for watching, and if you liked it, click the subscribe button and leave a comment below. You can also find me on Twitter and a few other places on the web, or support me via Patreon or Ko-fi. Zebra hugs!